Hi everyone, Easter is about 4 weeks away and we're going to make this beautiful Peeps tricolor cake. It's moist, delicious. We're going to make it from scratch and it's super easy to do. Let's get started on the cake. So you're going to pour in a half a cup of oil into your mixer, and you can just use a hand mixer if you have one, or you can even just use a whisk. And then you're going to add in your butter, and I'm using some unsalted butter here, and I'm just going to cream the butter and the oil together. Then I'm going to add in my sugar, and I'm going to add in 1 cup at a time. You want to make sure that everything gets incorporated well, so that's why you want to use 1 cup at a time until it comes to about this consistency. Then we're going to begin to add our eggs, and again we're going to add eggs 1 at a time, and you're going to add a total of 5 eggs. I'll link the recipe below. You want to make sure that everything is nice and incorporated. Here we have our dry mix, and we're having 3 cups of flour. I have some baking soda in there and some salt. I've whisked it together, and I'm just going to go ahead and add in some milk with vanilla and buttermilk and alternate between the flour and the milk mixture. And again, I'll link all the recipe details down below in my YouTube link. And so it's very important that you alternate between the liquid and the dry so everything incorporates nicely. And when your batter is about this consistency, this beautiful pillowy like batter, then you're going to go ahead and divide your batter into 3 bowls, because we want to create these beautiful cake colors. And so you want your cakes to be even. So I'm going to start with this dusk rose color, and you can use any color you want. And I'm using these gel food colorings that work nicely, and they don't have a taste. They don't add any taste to the cake, which is great. So you don't taste the dye. And I'm just going to blend them in all together and make sure it's nice and mixed well. Here I'm going to use some blue. It's almost like a lavender color, but it's got some blue. It's like a periwinkle. It doesn't show up on the camera, but it will in the cake. Once I've mixed in all my batters, I'm going to go ahead and pour my batter into a 9-inch cake pan, round cake pan. You could potentially use a square one and do a square cake, or you could do a bundt cake, whatever you're up for. But then you wouldn't be able to layer your cake, so you probably want to stick with the round cake pans to get this effect. So we're going to let our cakes have been in the oven for 25 minutes, and now they're out and they're cooling. And now we're going to go ahead and start our buttercream, and we are using some unsalted butter. I'm using some pure Irish butter, but you can use whatever butter you have on hand. Just make sure it's unsalted and it is softened as well. And we're just going to blend that together for about 3 minutes or so till it's nice and fluffy. And then we're going to add in our powdered sugar, and we're going to do that nice and slow so it incorporates with the butter. And then we're going to add in some half and half, or you can use heavy whipping cream. The cream adds a bit more richness to the buttercream frosting rather than using milk, so I like to use half and half. We're going to add in some vanilla for extra flavoring. And then I'm also going to add in some white coloring, food coloring, into my frosting because I want it to be white color. So here I have my cake, and I have it on my cake plate, and I'm going to go ahead and just start frosting my cake. I'm starting with the first layer, and I'm going to use the lavender layer as my bottom layer for my cake. Then I'm going to add in my pink layer and frost the middle part of that one as well. And I want to make sure everything's nice and evenly distributed. And then I'm going to add on my final layer, which is my yellow layer, and I'm going to go ahead and finish frosting the cake on top and also on the sides. And when the cake was all frosted, I actually set it in the fridge for about 15 minutes just to help the frosting set. Since it does have cream in it, it needs to set a bit. So now that my cake is all frosted, I'm going to go ahead and stick my Peeps on these little skewers and pop them in my cake to decorate them. And you can do them different sizes, you can use different color Peeps, it's all up to you. So cute. Now we're just going to slice into our cake and reveal the colorful, luscious layers of our tricolor Peeps cake. Ta-da! I love that bright yellow, that soft pink and lavender. It's just a gorgeous cake, and it's one of my favorite recipes. It's a really nice, fluffy, tender cake. It's perfectly balanced in sweetness, and it is a great one to make for Easter. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I'll see you guys again next week. Get in the kitchen. Bye!